Earlier this year, Utah signed a bathroom bill into law, banning transgender people from using the restroom that aligns with their gender identity. Parts of the law had taken effect earlier, while parts related to public school and the governmental compliance actually took effect on May 1st. So now, where are we at? Well, first, the law levies criminal penalties against people who use changing rooms that do not align with their biological sex in government-owned and run buildings, and had set up a tip line with enforcement. So basically, you could call in if you suspect a trans person to be using the quote-unquote wrong bathroom. Okay, so that underlies the bill. That seems kind of creepy to me. You're going to call the government and report someone who you think may be transgender for using the bathroom. Weird. Don't you have anything better to do? Apparently not. That said, let's get to the tip line, right? Because this is where it starts to get funny. Which is, again, it's not a funny topic. It's not a funny bill. It's a very discriminatory piece of legislation, and awful. But the tip line, that tip line apparently since May 1st received over 12,000 complaints. How many of them were legitimate? None. Nada. Zero. Okay. This is according to the Advocate. The Utah Public Auditor has been unable to substantiate a single violation of the state's bathroom ban out of over 12,000 complaints. Now, there was a form that they have, right, for these tips. And the tip line and form was quickly flooded with memes and joke reports. That was upon launch. Nearly 2 months later, the form still has not led to a single substantiated complaint of a trans person using the bathroom. Only 5 reports were deemed plausible enough to investigate, and each inquiry turned up absolutely nothing. This according to the Utah Public Auditor in a statement on Wednesday via the Salt Lake Tribune. So, look, these anti-trans laws, right? They were supposedly put into place to protect women and girls in the bathroom, right? It's not that though we had an epidemic of guys going into the bathroom, right? And spying on women. And they believe that trans women were like, that men were dressing up and pretending to be transgender to get into bathrooms. That never happened. That's not real. Now, what has happened is real. And that is led to increased discrimination against not only trans women, but cisgendered women who are suspected of being trans for not looking or being feminine enough, as well as non-binary folks. So if you're a woman who might not look feminine enough for certain people, and really, who's to judge, right? Because someone might see someone as, oh, that not feminine enough, and others might be like, what? Well, I don't see the problem with that. Oh, you wore pants. You wore a pantsuit. Oh no, you must not be feminine enough, right? You must be one of those trans people. We're gonna have to call the tip line. No, it's ridiculous. It's all ridiculous, and so it puts a target on your back, which is why I often point out that transphobia is actually just misogyny with extra steps. Okay, we have seen as a result of these anti-trans bills and anti-trans hysteria, cisgendered girls get harassed and questioned for using the bathroom or playing sports because someone accused them of being trans. Thought, oh, you were performing too well in this sport, and therefore you must be a secret male. And if that's happening now in these places, and has for years because of these bans, just think of what transgender and non-binary people have been dealing with for far much longer, okay, before these bathroom bans were in place. All right? That's the reality here. These laws are based on nothing but fear-mongering. There's not a single documented case of a transgender person attacking a cisgender person in a public restroom. It's not real. There is something that maybe you could consider kind of remotely related, even though it's not really, is one reported incident of voyeurism in a fitting room. That's not by transgender people. No members of the LGBTQI plus community were doing that. No documented cases. And yet we have these laws. that exist. And not only that, this law and laws like these also harm the privacy of the very people that it claims to protect. Remember, this form in Utah enables people to upload pictures to provide so-called evidence of these incidents while requiring the submitter's name and email addresses. But now what you end up having here is a bunch of transvestigators that could pull out their cameras if someone doesn't seem to be quite feminine enough for them and upload it to the government. Gross violation of people's personal privacy and incredibly messed up. And so, again, that's one of the reasons. There's so many different reasons to despise these bathroom bans, these bathroom bills. And again, it's trying to find a solution to a problem that's not real, a problem that doesn't actually exist. Okay, and it's harming so many different people, not just trans people, but also just girls and women that you claim you're supposed to be protecting. Anyway, now, despite this overwhelming and hilarious failure, remember, no incidences out of 12,000 complaints, right? The Utah Public Auditor insisted, though, that they will keep the form up and continue investigations, the few reports that it deems could be serious. It is ridiculous. Again, trans people have always existed. And since they've always existed, they've needed to use the bathroom because using the bathroom is a normal human thing that everyone has to do. Yes, I know, crazy, right? It's not a new phenomenon. You know why this is only a recent thing that has popped up? It's because they were never noticed before. They don't want the attention, and I mean trans people, non-binary folks. They don't want the attention. All they want to do is just use the bathroom. That's it. That's why they're in the bathroom to begin with. And they want to be in a place where they feel more comfortable, which is aligning with their own gender identity. That's it. The only reason this became a problem is when the right wing decided they needed a new wedge issue to try to win elections on. And that hasn't worked. That they stirred up this disastrously dumb moral panic to try to, to try to win elections, right? Now, the sooner, of course, they realize that it's not going to work, the sooner these transvestigators give it up, okay, and start and stop focusing on this stuff, and right-wing politicians stop trying to court their votes, the sooner they'll let it go. Because again, there is no real issue here. There is no real epidemic of cisgender girls being attacked in bathrooms by transgender people, okay? It's just not happening. What is happening is transgender people being assaulted by cisgender people. Cobalt Sovereign, 17-year-old trans girl, was attacked in a bathroom. She decided, hey, I'm going to try to not make people uncomfortable, and I'm going to use the male bathroom. Okay. And she goes in there, tries to use the male bathroom, and guess what? She gets attacked. Of course, called homophobic, transphobic slurs. That's what happens when they try to do what the right wing says they want them to do. There is no winning here for members of the transgender community, and that's the point. The right wing wants to erase them, to eliminate them, because they do not see them as human beings. That's why laws like this exist, to dehumanize them and to stop them from being part of society. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon in order to get notified whenever a new video is released. And if you want to support independent, progressive media through this difficult time where it seems like everybody is shutting down, you can become a member on our YouTube page, you can become a subscriber on Facebook, or you can go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf. Thank you.